Hi, welcome to People of Ad Tech. I'm your host, Bill Brazell, and I'm here today with Josh Payne, the CEO of StackCommerce. Welcome, Josh.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Now, Josh, like many people, you're concerned about the future of publishing and publishers, and you believe that publishers ought to be selling more things in a properly vetted, organic way to help them stay profitable. Can you talk about that? How should that be done?
Yeah, I mean, it's more so thinking that publishers should broaden their options to monetizing their sites, and I think ultimately providing a better experience for helping consumers to find the right products.
Hmm.
So not just sort of pitching any product, which is essentially what advertising is, but getting really hyper relevant about the whole connection of the process from recommending a product to purchasing it, and that's what we really help publishers to do.
And how do you guys do that? How does Stack Commerce do that?
So the main product, there's a couple of different things. We call what we do native commerce as
Hmm.
opposed to standard affiliate commerce. There's sort of three things. One of the main things that we start with is typically a white labeled shop.
Hmm.
So shop dot, whatever the publisher name.com.
Yeah.
And then we work with them to curate inventory that's relevant to their audience. We have an in-house team of merchandisers that goes directly to distributors and brands and advertisers and gets exclusive, product, whether it's private label or deals, best price on the web, that type of thing. And then we fill that shop with those products. And then the last part is that we actually go out and we have a brand studio that creates content and tells stories around those products and then embeds those native ads, into the publisher site.
Okay. Okay. So it's a pretty labor intensive thing then. You guys are really spending time with each publisher, really figuring out what works for them.
Yeah, it's a pretty somewhat of a full service service. We call it commerce as a service. In
Hmm.
years past, a lot of publishers tried to do commerce on their own. They've either tried the really light solution, which is affiliate,
Yeah.
and they found that it really doesn't monetize in the way that's meaningful to the publisher, and so they kind of don't take the steps to really invest in it.
Hmm.
Or they went all the way. They would get a warehouse, they would get the software, they would hire the people to do
Wow.
commerce, but they found that that's really too labor intensive for them and really not a core expert area of expertise.
Right.
So that's where we kind of come in as this really great sort of full service solution to enable them to do commerce really well and to make a really good amount of money from it.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Meaningful.
Yeah, sure. And I guess one thing I'm wondering about, are there ethical pitfalls with this that are different from running normal native ads? Like when you're selling products, do you have to be more concerned about stories that might accidentally or on purpose mention those products? How do you guys deal with that with the clients you work with?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's the same level of pitfalls as you would see with other sort of native ads, and really it's just all about proper disclosure and everything that the FCC and other entities have set up, IAB, to ensure that readers are properly informed. And I think it really ultimately it comes back to again the relevancy of what you're putting in front of the reader,
Hmm.
and readers don't mind that something is sponsored. They don't mind that there's disclosure there. It's really about what is the quality of the content, whether it's a native ad or a regular piece of content. It's really about ensuring that there's relevancy to that reader. And that's what we really try to focus on, and always helping publishers to adhere to, the guidelines as well.
And one of the things you were saying when we talked earlier, it seems like readers have become increasingly comfortable with native advertising. So this is just an extension of that. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, a lot of publishers are moving away from older, monetization methods. New York Times, for instance, recently kind of went fully native, all native ads for their monetization, and we see that really tends to be more effective both for the publisher and more effective for the reader.
Hmm.
I think just the style of ad formats is always evolving, and native seems to be one that's really picking up steam. Yeah, so we think it's been really effective, and it's can be good for all parties involved, I think.
Okay, cool. Well, we certainly all want to see anything that will help publishers survive. We need them. So thanks so much, Josh Payne, for your time today. Josh Payne of Stack Commerce.
Great, thank you.